Hi, I'm Kat, and this makeup tutorial is based off of Cheryl Blossom from the new Riverdale TV show, which is loosely based off of the Archie comics, of which I was a huge fan growing up. I still have a ton of Archie comics in a big bin under my bed that I can't part with, and I've always loved this character. She's such a bombshell, she has attitude, and she's just a great work of fiction. So I definitely wanted to do this look because a lot of people have been telling me that I bear a striking resemblance to the character in the show, and I decided to base this particular makeup tutorial off of the promotion shots for the show. So there are definitely a lot of other opportunities. They play around with her makeup a lot. I could do other tutorials down the road, so if there are any other looks you want to see, or just makeup looks in general you want me to do a tutorial on, make sure you post a comment below. Now, I can't say this specifically looks like the comic book character, but I love this look and I think they've done a really amazing job with her makeup. I started with my NYX California palette and selected the dark brown in the upper corner and used my Luxie 111 brush to dab on the color rather than swiping it. This way I was able to gradually build it up, especially in the outer corners of my eyes. Then I used my Luxie 227 blending brush and blended that out thoroughly. Once I had completely blended that out and was happy with it, I applied a little bit more of that dark brown in the outer corners. Then I used this light cream on the brow bone as a highlight, and I like to just swipe this on with my finger so I don't have to dirty another brush. Then I used my Idun Minerals concealer. I love this concealer and I like applying it with my finger to warm it up and then blending it out with my beauty blender. I concealed a blemish on my chin and covered my dark circles. Then I took a sheer powder and a large fluffy brush and set the concealer with that powder. Any translucent powder works for this. Then I used my Scandalize waterproof eyeliner. I just lined the waterline of both of my eyes, making sure to focus on the inner corner where I tend to get a lot of redness. This really cleans up the look and makes everything look nice and polished. For foundation, I used my NYX Total Control foundation. I know I don't use it exactly how it's designed. The dropper tends to leave a big mess and drip all over the place, so I kind of just smear the wand all over my face until I have as much color as I want. But I have definitely made quite a few messes with this product, and I'm trying not to do that again. Then I blended out with a wet beauty blender. I like the nice smooth finish that the beauty blender gives, and I like to get this all the way down my neck and make sure that I actually focus on the areas where I don't have any concealer. Once I'm done blending that out, I conceal my lips a little bit with whatever foundation is left on the sponge. Then I use that fluffy brush again and my translucent powder, brushing it gently over my entire face to set all of that makeup into place so nothing settles into any fine lines or creases. Next, I use my Arbonne bronzer and a flat brush and really just cut in underneath the cheekbones and put a little bit underneath my chin. For this makeup look, they don't put a ton of bronzer on the actress, so I wanted to keep it very similar to the photo. And because I have fair skin, I want to avoid overdoing the bronzer. Next, I use my Coralista brush, and I just use the little brush that comes with the product and put that nice peachy blush on the apples of my cheeks. Then I got my Wispies eyelashes ready, and I always cut the inner corners off of them so they don't stab me. This is my very intense focusing face. Then I use Dark Tone Duo Eyelash Adhesive, apply it to the eyelashes, and let it dry a little bit so that it gets tacky. Then I apply it to my eyelids, which I will admit I'm not a big fan of doing. I'm not a huge fan of fake lashes. I think they're uncomfortable, so I always take extra care to make sure that they're going to be comfortable when I apply them, and I basically harass them until they're completely dry. Then I do the other side, and that begins the task of trying to make sure that each side looks even. Once I think I've got it right, I let it dry into position. Next, I'm using my Naturalize palette from Too Faced, and Sexpresso is my go-to eyeliner color. I'm using a flat angled brush and applying it on the outer half of my lower lash line, just enough to make sure my eyes really pop, and making sure I don't get it on the waterline. Then I move to the top lashes and apply it like any other eyeliner, making sure that I cover up any shiny parts on the eyelash glue and mattify those. And then I want to cover up the gap on the inner corner of the eyelash line and make sure it's one solid dark brown line. If you have darker hair, I recommend using black for this, but since I'm fair-skinned and have red hair, I tend to only use dark brown eyeliner products. Then using a large fluffy brush, I get rid of any fallout. Then I move on to eyebrows. I'm using Velvet Revolver from the same palette with the flat angled brush and cutting in a pretty dark line all along the lower line of each of my eyebrows. This is pretty defined in the reference photo, and I'm going to fill in the rest of my brow after I draw that line, beginning with the tail of the brow and then using upper strokes to fill in the rest of the eyebrow. I'm using a taupe color because I find it works best for my hair color. I don't match the red in my hair because the taupe actually translates to look much warmer in real life. And that's what I look like with only one eyebrow. Then I move on to the other side and try and match it as best as I can with that first brow. Once I'm done with brows, I am ready to move on to mascara. I'm actually using black mascara for once. I don't usually use black, but the reference photo was very clearly black mascara, and I'm just using this on those inner eyelashes and then to stick the rest of my eyelashes to the fake lashes. I'm not using any on the lower lashes, just the top. And it's time for lips. I'm using a red Maybelline New York lip liner. And on the reference photo, they tend to overdraw this character's lips quite a bit. Since I have fuller lips, I'm not overdrawing, but I am sort of smoothing out my Cupid's bow and making it less sharp than it naturally is. I'm doing a nice thick line of lip liner and cholifying it. And for my lip color, I'm using this gorgeous Jolie Rouge from Clarins. It's absolutely gorgeous. I love this lip color. It's the perfect red. It's not orangey. It's not too blue or purpley. It's just absolutely perfect for every skin tone, and it's really, really moisturizing. I make sure to bite down on paper towel so I don't get any on my teeth, and then I'm going back in with my bronzer and that flat angled brush and carving out a little bit of shape on the tip of my nose to mimic the actress's nose. Mine is a little bit rounder at the tip, so I'm just bringing up the tip and then narrowing the bridge a little bit, and then blending that out with a fluffy brush. And that is the completed makeup look. Now it's time to move on to hair. I am letting my hair down, and luckily I do have quite a bit of hair. It's very long, just like the reference photos, so I'm just teasing up the roots a little bit, but you could also add some dry shampoo if that's what you're into. I prefer not to use dry shampoo on my hair. I just gently tease the roots all along the hairline, and then pay extra attention to the crown of my head, where I tend to get a cowlick. Then I brush all of the hair out and smooth it. And next I'm going to need a heat protectant, so I'm using Moroccan argan oil and just putting a couple of squirts into my hand, heating it up in my palms by rubbing them together, and then smoothing that through my hair, focusing on the ends of my hair. You can use any type of heat protectant you like, but this adds a nice gloss. I love the smell of this product, and it works really well to protect my hair. To style it, I'm brushing out each section, and I'm working in fairly large sections. Because this is more of a classic wave, I don't have to focus on doing really small individual curls. I'm starting with all of my hair on the left side of my body, and I'm curling all of the curls in the same direction away from my face. If I were parting my hair down the middle, I would curl both sides separately away from my face, but this way it gives a nice, even, consistent wave, and I just continue working from back to front, curling each section away from my face. I don't worry about setting the curls for this because they tend to hold pretty well after just a few seconds in the curling iron, and I drop them onto my shoulder and they tend to cool down pretty quickly, and I'm just going to be brushing them out at the end of my curling anyway. Once I get to the front of my face, I make sure to smooth any wispies along my hairline with that curling iron, and then I'm ready to brush out the curls. I'm using a soft boar bristle brush and gently brushing through all of the curls at once and keeping all of that hair over my left shoulder. And then you can spray it with some hairspray if that's what you're into. And that is the complete hair and makeup look inspired by Cheryl Blossom from Riverdale, who, let's face it, has always been the best female character in the Archie comics. Thanks for watching. If you want to see more videos like this one, hit the like button and subscribe. Follow me on social media at Katrinaosity, and leave a comment below telling me what you think.